You're watching India Ahead.
Hello and welcome. You're watching India Ahead News. My name is Kitty Behel. Today is the 45th anniversary of emergency in India and a political row has erupted over it between the BJP and the Congress. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has slammed the Congress and questioned as to why the emergency mindset still prevails in the party. Amit Shah has said that leaders are feeling suffocated in the Congress party and the party's disconnect with the public is further widening. He has questioned that why is it that leaders who do not belong to a dynasty aren't able to speak up in the party. Well, the Congress has also hit back at the BJP with the two people only jibe, with Congress leader Randeep Surjewala asking that the BJP needs to answer as to why the central government is described as the government of two people only and all others as mere sidekicks. And why is it obsessed in its wild hatred of Nehru and Gandhi's? Now, this political bickering between the two parties raises an important question here, that at a time when the country is dealing with an unprecedented crisis, COVID-19, cases continue to increase every single day. We are facing a huge challenge at our borders as well. Is this even the time to fight these imaginary battles? We'll talk about this with our guests who are joining us on this broadcast. I have with me Mr. Sudesh Verma, BJP spokesperson, joining us on this broadcast. From the Congress party, I have with me Adil Singh Boparai joining us, Sumit Peer, who's a political analyst and BJP supporter, also with us on this broadcast. I also have Ms. Tanvi Pruthi. She is also a political analyst and a Congress supporter here with us on this panel. Before I open this up for discussion, let's first listen into some reactions coming in.
हमें याद करने की जरूरत है कि 25 जून 1975 को देश में इमरजेंसी लगाई गई थी, आपातकाल। ये क्यों लगाई गई थी? क्योंकि उस समय कांग्रेस पार्टी की प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी की कुर्सी बचाने के लिए उनके रायबरेली से चुनाव को इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट ने अवैध करार दिया था और बाद में बस उनकी कुर्सी बचे, इसी के लिए इमरजेंसी लगाई गई थी।
All right, you heard BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad there. Let me now open this up for discussion with my guests present on the panel. The first question, if I could ask to the Congress here, Adil Singh Boparai, before I get into the larger question here as to why is this situation even arising at this, crucial juncture, crucial point that we are in. We are facing this huge crisis in front of us. That's COVID-19. Fuel prices are rising, of course, and you have this unprecedented situation at the border also. I'll get into that. But first, the dynasty jibes are once again being thrown at the Congress. Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the emergency mindset still prevails in the Congress party. Leaders other than one dynasty are not able to speak up. People are getting frustrated in the Congress. We do know for whom this reference is. And, what I want to know from you, is this the case in the Congress? Is this the case that people are losing the trust of people and your leaders? Because that is also really important to discuss about here.
Well, Tanvi, I must tell you that I do not belong to any political dynasty, and at the age of 31, I'm a spokesperson for the Congress party. So therefore, the charge of dynasty is absolute buncombe. It is furthest from the truth, and it is media distraction 101. It is media diversion 101. Today, and as rightly pointed out by you, we're in the middle of an economic crisis, an unprecedented economic crisis. Today, we're in the middle of a health emergency. Today, the price of diesel has increased and exceeded the price of petrol. Today, we have a border clash with China. So therefore, the question has to be asked from the BJP, which issues are you trying to push under the carpet? And I'll tell you why this tweet has come from Mr. Amit Shah. Today, there is satellite imagery. There are boots on the ground, which have confirmed that the Chinese have occupied and made a semi-camp in the Galaman Valley. The Chinese have opened up the Depsang front, and the Chinese have built fortifications at Singapore. So how does the BJP, in their penchant for propaganda management and PR Sarkar, divert public attention? And I'll tell you what they do. They leak a story. They pressurize media channels to discuss that. They get so-called journalists who are masquerading as journalists and strategic thinkers who are in reality de facto BJP spokespersons. They discuss that and they divert people's attention from the real issue. This is BJP 101. We've been seeing this for the past 6 years. Kitty, I've been on your debates earlier. You've seen this. So this is BJP 101. They must understand that the public will not get fooled. Today, the need of the hour is to expel the Chinese. The Chinese are sitting in Indian territory. We stand with our forces, throw the Chinese out. The BJP, instead of expelling the Chinese, today is speaking China's language. Narendra Modi's statement has been translated into Mandarin and run across the world by the Chinese propaganda machinery. But Amit Shah and Ravi Shankar Prasad will have nothing to say on that. They will have nothing to say on that. So therefore, please stop fooling the people of this
Adil,
country.
we do understand your concern here, and we do believe, through our means here, through our channel, we are taking up those important issues, of course. But, that's what the BJP says here, Adil. One question. Adil, let me speak. That's what the BJP alleges here, that, you are not letting your own party leaders speak up. That's what happened in the CWC, as Amit Shah pointed out. What happened with Sanjay Jha is all out in public domain. You're not letting your own party leaders speak up. How do you expect a better coordination, between the opposition and the government at this point in time when it comes to, handling this situation that we are in, the COVID crisis? But there are talks about, many experts, analysts would say that, we should all walk together, work in a unified manner. That's what, the BJP also says, the Congress also says, but that's not happening actually. And that's what the BJP says. You don't let your own leaders speak up. It's only one dynasty rule. How would you ensure this thing to happen?
Kitty, how does Mr. Amit Shah know that nobody was allowed to speak in the CWC? Did he bug the CWC meeting? Did he hack into the computers? Did he hack into the app? It is a lie. It is a white lie. There can be nothing further from the truth. And should I show the BJP their own mirror? What happened to L.K. Advani Sahab? What happened to Murli Manohar Joshi? What happened to Yashwant Sinha? What happened to Hareen Pandya? What happened to Hareen Pandya? What happened to Sanjay Joshi? Today there is a majoritarian rule. The BJP is only concerned about headline management. It's only concerned about propaganda and PR. They feel they can fool all the people all the time. The Congress, they need not worry about the Congress. Like I said, a young person from me, from no political dynasty, there is enough vibrancy. There is merit-based politics in the Congress party. So the BJP need not be concerned. Today, BJP is a two-man sarkar. Instead of speaking for the Chinese, they should speak for India. They've become Chinese de facto spokesperson. BJP and their larger ecosystem, their lackeys on television.
Okay, Adil, let me take a response on that from the BJP spokesperson here, Sudesh Verma, with us on this broadcast. Mr. Sudesh Verma, what Adil Singh Boparai of the Congress here is suggesting that, there is enough democracy in the Congress party, enough freedom to speak up in the Congress party. You are the ones, who are somehow trying to suppress the voices of your patriarchs and, old guards. It just doesn't stop here. If you are going to point fingers at your rivals, they are also going to bring back the dead. Randeep Surjewala also said that the BJP has insulted its old guard and patriarchs. As Adil was also pointing out, take the example of L.K. Advani, M.M. Joshi, Keshubhai Patel. The list is endless, as was mentioned by Randeep Surjewala in one of his tweets. And there is this vile hatred that the BJP has for the Nehru-Gandhi legacy. Why is that so? Is that the case?
You see, if we say something, if it doesn't have truth, then nobody will believe that, isn't it? You will also not have a debate on this. When we talk of dynasty, we are saying that can anybody become the president of the Congress other than Sonia Gandhi ji or Rahul Gandhi ji? They made one Sitaram Yechuri the president, and kind of humiliation he was heaped upon. He had to run away in covers, and you have seen that when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, how his ordinance was torn by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. A young man insulting the Prime Minister. Can you imagine something happening? The most powerful person in this country has to kowtow to the diktats of the Sonia Gandhi family. You see, when we talk of our democracy, you see, nobody is permanent in BJP. Yesterday it was Vajpayee Advaniji's year, and now it is Modi and Amit Shah's era. Naturally, tomorrow there will be someone else. Is a situation that throws leadership. Of course, Mr. Modi ji has got votes for the BJP. It's because of his image that the BJP is in power for the second consecutive term, and hopefully it is going to be in power for more times to come because he has been doing a great job. You see, but the post of the president or the post of the prime minister is not reserved for anyone. It's not about a spokesperson.
But Mr. Verma, are you
It's about
suggesting,
whether the
you know,
top
what the
post
Congress is
can
saying?
be.
Are you confirming
please,
that
go
that
ahead.
it's a two people only party?
No, I'm not. I did not say that. But you see, of course, there will be dominant. Prime Minister is the most powerful person. Belongs to the party. Nobody can undermine the authority of the Prime Minister. What he speaks is final even for the party. But the party, of course, there is a lot of consultation. It's not like the Congress. We know how decision making is taken. All the leaders sit together and decide, and then some action is taken. It's not unlike they that they will go to the all party meeting and then come out and then ask the government to explain. This is not done in democracy. The Congress, we do not need to say. It's a party of the dynasty, and it's the dynasty that rules. Nobody can imagine, if he's talking about a spokesperson, then there was a spokesperson, Tahseen Poonawala's brother Sajad. He wanted to contest as president. He was thrown out. What happened to Sanjay Jha, a brilliant spokesperson? But he was just because he questioned, and it's a legitimate question any party should ask. And you see, you can't compare with the BJP. BJP is a party of the downtrodden, the poor people. The prime minister was once, coming from a very humble background. So is Mr. Amit Shah. So are others. See, Mr. JP Nadda is also there. He has come from the rank and file. So you see these kind of things happening in the BJP. You don't see that happening in the Congress. You have to be from dynasty, and you have to kowtow to the dynasty. You have seen how people rise. There used to be one Devkant Barua, who was the president of the Congress. He used to say Indra is India and India is Indra. That thing is not happening.
Okay, all right. Before I go to my other panelist here, I would ask Adil to kindly respond to that. Adil, what do you have to say about what Mr. Sudesh Verma here is suggesting? He says that it's not the same party. That's what BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah also said, that it's not the same party what was there in Indira Gandhi's time. Do you think what Sanjay Jha...
Kitty,
okay, I'm facing some echo here. I would request my PCR to kindly fix that. Adil, please respond.
Kitty, I can hear you.
Yes, please go ahead.
Kitty, why is the BJP obsessed with the Nehru-Gandhi family? I just don't understand. Why are they obsessed? Is it that the BJP has no issues today? Is it that the BJP has no crisis today? So, this is the BJP strategy, like I said in my first speech. Today, the BJP has no answers for the Chinese invasion. Today, the BJP has no answers on the economic front. Hence, create an imaginary issue. Use channels to discuss that imaginary issue. And therefore, hide behind that smoke screen. Have we forgotten what Tejasvi Surya had said about Mr. Modi, that Mr. Modi is India? I don't want to get into that. Has Mr. Verma forgotten what happened to Aryan Pandya? So please, this is not the issue today. The issue is not the Congress party. The issue is how do we expel the Chinese? The issue is how do we get our economy on track? The issue is how do we defeat coronavirus? Please tell us about this. Please tell us why has Mr. Modi undermined India's position in the international arena? The Chinese are complimenting Mr. Modi.
Okay.
They say he's vindicated our position. These are all red herrings.
Okay.
This is diversion. And I will not fall into the BJP trap.
Okay, Sudesh Verma wants to respond to that, but let me just bring in Sumit Peer here. Sumit, I want to bring you in here. Mr. Sudesh Verma, I'll come back to you. Sumit, what do you think, what do you think of the situation that we are in? Do you think the BJP here, as the Congress spokesperson here alleges, is trying to downplay the important issues and, rather get into this small talk, into this mudslinging at this crucial juncture that's even not required?
Ma'am, the point here is very simple. When Mr. Narendra Modi was born, was he destined to be the Prime Minister of India? Was he destined to be the President of BJP? Take L.K. Advani, take JP Nadda, take anybody who is born. But the day Mr. Rahul Gandhi was born, he was destined to be the President of Congress Party. Look at last 30 years. It's Mrs. Gandhi or Mr. Rahul Gandhi who the presidents are. And there's no other leader who can become the president, what Verma ji rightly said. BJP is a cadre-based party. They used to make all the fun of Prime Minister Modi, Honorable Prime Minister. Now that is the power of BJP. A chaiwala, literally as per Congress language, has become the PM of India. That can never ever happen in a Congress, party. That is where the charge is. And when we talk of emergency, it is the blackest spot on the history of India. Was emergency imposed by BJP? Was emergency imposed by Modi ji? No, it was done by Mrs. Gandhi. And after 45 years, if people remember those dreadful days and talk about how the democracy was scuttled by the Congress for its own gains, for the gains of the dynasty, what is wrong in that? As far as the China is concerned, China is being handled. None of the Congress spokesperson have been able to prove that China has taken an inch of our land. We stand by what Modi ji said. Not an inch of our land is taken by the Prime Minister. And as far as Congress spokesperson quoting, Modi ji's bhashan is translated into Mandarin and all. Why did they take out Modi ji's bhashan from the Chinese social media? Because China this time is rattled. What happened to 650 kilometers which went in UPA time? What happened to those 650 incursions which happened in UPA time? Uski to koi baat karte nahi hai log. Now this time China is really rattled. China is not able to do. Our army has, responded to China in the most befitting manner because the whole world is standing with us. That is what is rattling them. And if emergency was imposed by them, why don't they own it up? Bhai, wo to Modi ji nahi laaye the na Vajpayee ji laaye the, na Advani ji laaye the. So that was done by Mrs. Gandhi or not? That was done 45 years or not? What about that forced Nasbandi? Was that also done by BJP? So these are hard facts of Indian history which have to be done and which have to be talked about. And if they are talking about it, what is wrong about it? I don't think why Congress should get rattled because Congress is all about one dynasty. What you care about is Nehru Gandhi dynasty. That's all what matters.
Okay. Sumit, it's really very important and it's really good that, you've brought, you've brought about the present issues, here, which is about the border issues. Of course, we are dealing with a tough neighbor, China, at this point in time. I'll talk about that also. And, the row that, the problem that we're facing with Nepal also, our tiny neighbor. We'll talk about that also. But, let me just have Mr. Sudesh Verma respond to what Adil Singh Bopra here said on the broadcast. I'll go to Tanvi Pruthi after that. Mr. Verma, please go ahead.
You see, I do not agree with what Adil is saying. And he also knows how BJP functions as a democratic party, you see. And today being 25th of June, today is the day when emergency was imposed. And that is the reason it is always needed. It is always beneficial for democracy that people should be reminded. Congress has sought apology for imposing emergency. But the reminder should go to all people that what kind of tendencies brought emergency. And this is because they wanted to protect a family. And still, you see the way things are happening in this country. One family is all important. One family feels that Modi ji will go and give explanation to them. They have signed an MOU with China. God knows for what purpose. And they are very rattled that we are giving China a befitting reply. They could not have done that, as Sumit was saying. And the whole world recognizes this. China recognizes this. You see, our soldiers have given a befitting reply to them. And we do not feel shy of saying it. And the bravery of our soldiers, particularly Bihar regiment, the way they tackled the crisis, is exemplary. And what for the army is there? To defend the territory. And if you defend, then you are going to sacrifice your life also. If you don't want to defend, if you want to allow Chinese to capture your territory the way it used to happen, the fight will never take place. You have seen our response in Doklam. You have seen our response now. And you will see our response. Not only that we have the army, we also have the feeling that we are strong. And we are ready to take action also. That is what makes this government different from any other governments earlier.
Okay, Tanvi wants to come in here. Tanvi, please go ahead.
Yeah, so basically there are three questions, that we are debating right now. So I would like to pick them, this 3 points that I would like to share. So first is when we are discussing about dynasty, so according to Mr. Shah and BJP, there are two kinds of dynasty. One is good dynasty and the other is bad dynasty. If there is Congress, it's bad dynasty. When it comes to their own allies, then it's good dynasty. So I come from Haryana and I want to ask you, who is the Deputy Chief Minister of the state of Haryana? Just at the age of 31, had he not been a Chautala, do you think he would have become a Deputy Chief Minister? So when it comes to their own allies, then dynasty is fine. But when it comes to Congress, they have a huge problem with it. Now coming to the question of emergency. Now let me tell you that after the emergency when Indira Gandhi lost elections, ever since from 1971...
Tanvi, what happened in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh then? There were talks, yes, there were long discussions about Scindia being made the chief minister, Sachin Pilot also given the top post, but that did not happen. And you know, since then, these questions are arising, much before that, of course. But this, of course, again, I think, in a way, I would say, has ignited the debate.
No, that is a complete. See, that is the leadership decision. They have decided it. There was a certain criteria that they followed. And if there is a problem, Congress will handle it on their own level. I mean, they don't need interception from BJP or any other political party to come into the picture. I would ask that how many people went to the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah ji to tell them that demonetization was a disaster? Were there any voices in the BJP to tell them that? Were there any voices in the BJP who countered when Mr. Modi said that there was no discussion on NRC, and Mr. Amit Shah, you know, he went on saying everywhere that there'll be a chronology, first NRC, then CA, and then what not? Where were the voices then? So all these questions are just mindless. So this comes to the second point of emergency. You know, from 1977 to 1981, she went on to apologize people for the excesses that were done during the emergency. Now look at the current position. We are into undeclared emergency, and that's very obvious. Look at the 4 pillars of our democracy. They are under threat. Now who is coming to apologize to us for the disaster of demonetization, for the polarization that happened, which led to riots in Delhi? So I'm sorry, but you know, Mr. Amit Shah has
Mr. Verma, can I have you to respond on that? Okay.
Yeah, I want to
Tanvi, I'll come back to you. Can I have Mr. Sudesh Verma to respond on that? Yes. Okay.
Waiting for you to give me the platform. Tanvi, first of all, you are a young political analyst. I would expect that you would be impartial in your analysis because you are writing political analyst. Unless you say that you are a political analyst aligned to the Congress. You are able to speak on television. That itself shows that there is no emergency or emergency-like situation. It was actually suppression of democratic voice that time, and many people, lakhs of people, were in jail just because they spoke against Indira Gandhi's regime. Let me just recall it for you. You see, it's not true what you're saying. And if you want to see functioning of our party, you're most welcome. You see, it's not that we brought the CA suddenly. There is a lot of planning which is done. You may not be able to know because the party has its own strategy. Our party works towards a strategy. We are all concerned. It's not that suddenly it comes. You know, it never happens because it's not that one leader who decides. CA is a part of our ideological policy.
Let me take one question to Mr. Sumit Peer here. Sumit, you know, as the Congress spokesperson here was suggesting, isn't it the time that we take up the important issues? We keep talking about, you know, these old issues about what happened in the emergency era, what happened after that, you know, during the Indo-China war in 1960s. Why aren't we talking about the current situation? You spoke about the border situation at present, of course, but, you know, what many satellite images are suggesting that, you know, this has happened actually. You know, the Chinese troops, the Chinese army has even encroached a part of our land. They have encroached into our territory. Of course, the military level talks are still underway. They're still happening on a regular basis. And we have to find a solution to that. Don't you think, in your viewpoint, these are just, you know, baseless topics that we are talking about? You know, you talk about emergency, you talk about these old issues. Of course, we understand it's the 45th anniversary and the BJP, of course, has a lot to talk about and attack the Congress party on that. But shouldn't we be living in the present, thinking about the future?
Ma'am, the point number one is that when emergency was imposed, this was imposed on the nation. It was not imposed on BJP. So when the BJP is the ruling dispensation who has been mandated by the people of India, I think BJP is under its oath and in its all rights and duty bound to bring up this issue because emergency was imposed across the nation. It was not imposed on BJP and RSS only. Point number one. Point number two, yes, we have border issues with the China, but you see that they are resolving it. We have not given 650 kilometers of territory to the China. We don't have a defense minister who is talking not building the roads is the only safety to keep your borders safe. We don't have a foreign minister who says, I like Beijing more than Delhi, I want to live here. You see how we have handled China amidst of the global times propaganda and all that they were saying we can mobilize troops. We are the illusions which were built about PLA. PLA is robust, PLA is strong, they can take the India. What has been PLA able to do? See our bravehearts what have done. Today China is rattled. China cannot take an inch of our land. And unless, you see, we went to Russians. What did Excel do? They supported us. They said all the contracts are valid. They said all the contracts will be expedited. This is the power of diplomacy. We have replied China in its point. We have told China a pinch of our land is not negotiable. You cannot come and take our land. I'm not even bringing up 62, but that won't be right to bring up right now. So this is the message to China. Why PLA is on the border and not able to do anything? If they were doing so much of propaganda on the global times, where is the
Sumit,
action?
okay,
Because
one
they're
question,
scared of
Sumit,
us.
here. Do you think that we can, that the BJP, that the central government can do it alone? Don't you think we need support of our opposition also? You need the support of the entire country here when you're fighting this hard battle at the border. Of course, diplomacy is also required. You need your allies, you need your friends, you know, you need your neighbors also to tackle this situation. Shouldn't we be taking everybody along when we are dealing with this unprecedented crisis?
That is right.
And the opposition should also, yes, the opposition should also pitch in instead of fighting these, you know, stupid battles.
Twitters and YouTubes. I'm telling you, the all-party meeting was done. Everybody was taken into conference. 90% of the opposition is with the government of the day, minus the Congress party. And if they had some issues, they can be always done at a forum, which is an all-party meeting and all. Why are you going to Twitter? Why are you showing this YouTube videos? What is this surrender Modi? What is this surrender Modi? What do you mean by surrender Modi? When the Honorable Prime Minister said not even an inch of land is given 1.3 billion Indians, believe that and I have to stand by that. Unless and until you tell me you have some spy satellites which are proving to you that the land has been given. What does your own Secretary Shyam Saran say? How much of land have you given? How many incursions were there which you never reported? This is your own Secretary Shyam Saran. Now, when you have things are like this happening, when things are of national importance, it's not the type of politics. And there is a platform to handle this. YouTube, Twitter are not the platform to discuss national security and tactical ops.
Well, definitely. All right. I think I have Adil back with us. Adil wants to respond to that. Okay. Adil, I won't have much time. I would request you to kindly wrap it up in 30 to 40 seconds, please.
Kitty, I heard the political analyst and I heard him very patiently. If bashing the Congress party is going to reduce fuel prices, then he must go ahead with doing that. If bashing the Congress party is going to create jobs, then please, he must go ahead with doing that. If bashing the Congress party will throw the Chinese out, please, he must go ahead with doing that. If bashing the Congress party will show lal arms to Nepal, then please, he must go ahead with doing that. If bashing the Congress party will defeat the coronavirus epidemic, then he must go ahead with doing that. The problem is there are some de facto Chinese agents who are masquerading as analysts and journalists. Today, read the Indian Express. The Chinese have occupied PP-14 in Galwan Valley. The Indians continue to have access and control right till February 2020 of Finger 8 at Pangong Lake. Today, the Indians can't go beyond Finger 4. That is 10 kilometers. I don't know what kind of WhatsApp university these people read. China has opened up another front at this time.
Okay, we do understand, Adil. I understand your concerns. And of course, bashing your rivals, bashing your opposition is not going to give you the desired results. What is required at this moment is for us to understand the BJP, the central leadership, the opposition parties also, that we have to walk hand in hand and fight this battle, you know, from a united front. That is what is required. That's the need of the hour. All right. Thank you so much. I won't have much time on this debate for now. Thank you so much to all my panelists for joining us on this broadcast, sharing those views with us. Thank you so much. It's time for a short break here. More will continue on the other side. Stay tuned.
You're watching India Ahead.